Hey guys, Christina Steinberg here. Let me get I guess I am presenting. Here we go. Hello. And we have Stephanie Naylor. She just muted herself because she's a dork. Unmute yourself.
Because Michael, dipped his
Michael,
head in and he has no shirt on.
Michael, inappropriate timing.
I know.
Oh, fudge. Hold on. Okay. Muting that. Okay, sorry. I had the broadcast going because I'm just trying to see if I can, talk to anybody who's on the chat. So, okay. Anyway, sorry guys, technical difficulties today. We were trying to get all of us on, and this is our first time, so love us through it, okay? I do these by myself often, but I was like, we have leaders and directors now, and we're gonna hang out together instead of you guys having to look at this all the time. So, like I said, I've got Stephanie Naylor. What up? And Cheryl Jones. They're literally probably like 150 feet from each other right now. It's kind of magic. But we're going to talk about back to basics. There's 0 viewers. Can you guys even see us right now? I think you probably can because the link is working. I have the link pulled up in another tab, and I can see it's working. So we're going to talk about basically simplifying your business, relaunching your business, working smarter, not harder, and just really getting your Scentsy business ready for 2016 by cutting out the crap, okay? Because there's a lot of crap. Like we like to buy a lot of stuff, and we like to do a lot of stuff that keeps us from actually doing the important stuff. So we like to keep ourselves busy without actually making money. We just try to find ways to make it look like we're working our business without actually doing what it takes to bring home the bacon. So we're going to talk about that, getting your business back to basics, simplifying it. If anyone's ever heard of the 4 chords, Orville did a speech on it 3 years ago at convention. The 4 chords to selling Scentsy. 4 chords basically being like the notes you play together to make a pretty sound. Chord, here you go. It's basically selling 500, recruiting new people, training your team, and personal wellness. So we're kind of touching on that, but we're not going to go into the 4 chords. If you guys don't know what that is, go look it up on YouTube. It's Convention 2012, I believe. It's a great speech. Orville's Campfire. It's either called Orville's Campfire speech or the 4 chords speech. It's a great one. It tells you exactly how to run your Scentsy business. Some of the things we're going to cover tonight, though, Stephanie Naylor is going to talk to you guys about meeting new people and making samples. I think that I'm going to be talking about basket parties, what to put in them, how to keep them simple, and booking parties, how do you get parties, right? And Cheryl Jones is going to talk about recruiting, being courageous and authentically recruiting people. And then if we kind of have time, we may not have time, we might go over some follow-up ideas and branding yourself. But our basic goals tonight are to talk about meeting new people, making samples, the stuff that actually gets you sales, like the important work of your business. And then, like we said, parties, recruiting. So sales, parties, recruiting, the 3 huge things that actually make a Scentsy business a Scentsy business. So I'm going to actually, Stephanie, I'm going to have you go first if that's okay.
All right.
I hope you're ready.
Do you want me to do both or just talk about one thing?
Let's talk about, let's do meeting new people.
Okay.
Let's do that first. And then maybe I can talk about booking parties. Then you can do making samples. And then I'll talk about basket parties or whatever, or because home parties are important, but they're really loaded, so we can do home parties another time. I might touch on them, but we're not really trying to give you guys the process on how to do them, but really the bare bones structure, keeping it as simple as possible. And then Cheryl, after that, I'll let you do recruiting and how to just really authentically be like, yo, join my team, easy peasy. So, so we'll start with you, Stephanie, if you want to talk about meeting new people.
Okay. All right. It's my first live training thing. So
love her through it. She's got this.
All right. Basically, in order for your business to work, you have got to branch out. So that means, first when you start, you have your friends and family, and those are the first people that you're going to talk to, and you're going to, ask if they want to host a party. See if they're interested in helping you, giving you referrals and things like that. But it's not going to work if you only stay in that just little circle of friends and family. You have to be constantly expanding your circle. Your circle is always going to be changing. Customers might turn into team members, which then takes away from your customer base. So you always have to be meeting new people. So the other thing is too is your friends and family are going to know different people than you know. Most likely when you have like a friend or family member host a party, they're going to invite people, but you may not know everybody at that party. And even if you do, the key to expanding through home parties is to try and book more parties through that. So every time you book parties, you're going to meet more new people and more new people. So your contacts get larger, and you're able to expand, who you know and get your name out there across a lot more people. Some ideas on how to meet new people. First of all would be the home parties. Fundraisers are a really good idea. That when you do those, you're getting your name out there and you're meeting people. Events. Not only are you meeting new people like customers and stuff, but you're also kind of connecting with other vendors, and that's really important because, say you meet a 31 consultant and you guys hit it off as friends or whatever, and if they hear about an event and they think of you and they say, hey, do you want to do this event I just heard about? They need a Scentsy consultant. I mean, you're always going to have that connection and stuff, and it's nice to help out each other and other vendors. Facebook groups, things that like shared interest, different groups on, Facebook. Like if you like to craft a lot and stuff, there's Facebook groups and things for that you can join. You don't want to go in that group and just start talking about Scentsy and trying to sell Scentsy or anything. It's just you're building relationships with other people and expanding your circle. And let's see. People in your neighborhood, events in your neighborhood. Some neighborhoods have Facebook groups and pages, clubs that you might be a part of, or if you're not a part of anything, I suggest getting out there and joining things. Clubs. I'm currently one of the leaders for a MOPS group, also with Cheryl McPherson and Lori Rose and a couple of the other girls. So just things like that can help you kind of expand who you know and everything. Church, school events, find a hobby and go to a class, sports class, volunteer and give back to a nonprofit organization, book clubs, tournaments, walks and runs, gym, coffee shop, grocery store, bank. If you work outside of the home and outside of Scentsy, people at your work. You just basically want to live Scentsy, so it needs to be a part of your life on a daily basis. So you want to make sure that you're branding yourself, which we'll talk about. Talking about Scentsy and branding yourself, and always just incorporating it into your life. So just constantly be expanding your circle and getting to know other people. Along with that, I kind of wanted to touch base on how to create a positive image for you and your business. One of the main things that I always suggest to people is, as soon as you start a business of any sort, or Scentsy or whatever it is, just cut all negativity off of your Facebook. All negativity, negativity off of your Facebook, and just out of your life, everything. You'll just be a much happier person, and it's going to reflect a really good image on your business, and people are going to like you, and they're going to want to give back to your business. So that kind of means things like, don't get into political arguments. Mm-hmm. I don't even discuss politics. 'Tis the season. Right now, that's a big, big thing. And if you are on there, if you're I'm not, talking about anything, but if, there's one of the, candidates right now, everybody's trying to find out who their friends like, if their friends like them or whatever, and then they're going to delete them. I'm like, come on. So just don't even talk about your political beliefs or anything on there.
Go yell at your husband about what you believe. Right. Call your mom when you're mad. Don't put it on Facebook.
Talk about it afterwards. And know your business. You really don't. So if you're fighting with your husband or whatever, let's just not talk about it. it's okay if you say things like, uh, your kid was driving you nuts or whatever. I mean, that's fine. Everybody's kid drives them nuts. But you basically want to be positive, inspirational, and motivational. Like in the world that we live in right now, it's full of negativity and hate and everything, and you just want to be the light, and you just want to just show that, you still can overcome, being sucked into all of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, people don't want to see complainers, judgmental people, etc. They want to see that positive, inspirational, and motivational person. They're drawn to happiness. They're drawn to, for Scentsy consultants, we scream Scentsy spirit, so they're drawn to that. And, it'll rub off, too, because recruiting and building your team and everything is going to come so much easier because everyone's going to see that you're a really positive person, you're going to inspire them, and they're going to want to get a piece of that. They're going to be like, what are you doing that you are so freaking happy all the time? So they're going to want to know.
What's different about you?
Right. Yeah. So just staying away from negativity and everything is going to make you a much happier person. One thing that I do a lot is I'll go on Pinterest and I'll just look up motivational quotes, and it'll just get me pumped. I'll share them with my team or whatever. And, I'll share them on my page, too. That's a big thing, too. Like, instead of sharing, like, sad things or negative things or politics and stuff, share motivational quotes. People love that stuff and they share it. Sometimes I'll do is I'll share it on my my business page, and then people share that and share that. So not only are they sharing the quote and they're seeing the quote, but they're seeing where it came from, which is my business page. So that's pretty much all I have for that.
I love it. Wait. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. I clicked the wrong screen. So, I accidentally clicked what everyone else is watching, and there was I'm like, I don't hear anything. It's because it's, catching up on all of us. So, we're good now. What's up? Okay. I guess with that, I think, did I have okay, I was going to talk about booking parties right next, and then you're going to talk about samples. I feel like samples tie into meeting new people really well because, like you were saying, wanting to be prepared or being all that stuff, and samples help you stay prepared. So I kind of might make you do samples right now. Would that make sense? Okay, I was like, it actually fits more there than it would fit after anything else. So. Drink! Chug it!
Okay.
Well, good.
Let me find my little thing. Okay.
Put you on the spot. It's your first time, by the way.
Samples.
Being prepared.
All right. So, there's two different ways I'll make samples for wax, and one is going to be using felt, and the other one's just going to be making, wax mold or candy mold look samples. The felt ones I will make for mailing because it's the most cost-effective way. We need simple, we need cost-effective. We don't need to spend a lot of money on mailing out samples and things, and it's equally effective and people love it. Crystal on my team actually was very impressed with it, and that's one of the reasons why she's on our team now. So, it really just being a little simple sample, whether it's felt or whatever, and giving that out and stuff really makes people happy, and people like to smell things and everything. So,
thank goodness.
Let me see if you can see it, but this is an example of what the ones I mail out look like. So it's in just this tiny little baggies. I think they're 1 by 2 inches or something, but you can get the bigger ones too. And this is a felt snowflake. I get the cutout ones from Pear Creek Cottage on Etsy.com. I'll post the link to her page as well, but you don't have to do that. You can literally go to Hobby Lobby and get the 8.5 by 11 sheets of felt. You get 4 for $1, and you can cut that into strips, and you can get hundreds of little strips. So I mean, it's for $1, you're getting something that you can soak your wax on. Mm-hmm. And the neat thing about that is that when you're using the felt samples, your wax goes a long way. So it's the most cost-effective way to make a sample. You can make all your samples like that if you want to, but I just do that for mailings because it's flat, so it's not going to cost me any more money to mail. In the wintertime, it doesn't really matter, but in the summertime, if it starts to melt or whatever, it's just going to absorb back into the felt. And I always get the scent of the month. Whether or not I get the warmer of the month or not, I always at least get the scent of the month, because it's a really good deal, and it gets you a lot of things to help you make samples, and it gets you the flyers, and it gets you the little stickers and everything like that. So for instance, like if you've never gotten it before, so you'll get these flyers, and you get the stickers that I put on my samples. So I just, pop those on there, and what I'll do is I'll just fold the flyer up and put the sample in there, and I'll grab an envelope and just put it in there, and then I'll mail that out. Sometimes I'll include like another flyer if something else is going on, or right now I'm including like the holiday brochure. So just something to, and if you've got flyers and stuff that you need to get handed out and stuff, that's a perfect way to get rid of them and stuff. So so that's for like mailing. So the felt, like I said, you can get on the Etsy site. I'll put that link. The little baggies are like, I don't know, like $1.50 or something for like 150. You can get those at Hobby Lobby or Walmart. I personally like the Hobby Lobby brand or quality better. Either one works. The Hobby Lobby is just a little bit thicker and nicer, I think. So really cheap. So right there you've got just like $2 to $3 of, supplies. I mean, you do need to, have your wax or whatever, but it's really not that expensive. So, and the envelopes, I think these are like less than $5 at Walmart. They're like the little neon 4x6 envelopes, and on the back they have the, if you don't like licking envelopes, you can just peel this off.
I always buy those because I'm lazy.
Yeah. And then if you want to get fancy, but they're a little bit more expensive, at Hobby Lobby they have like these cute little chevron ones, and they have like craft paper. The craft paper makes your mailings heavier though, so I don't suggest using it because you might go over. But the idea is to try and get your mailings down to just a stamp. You don't need it
Keep
to be
it simple.
Right. So like this one's $6.99, but you can use your 40% off coupon, and half the time they're half off anyway. So
that's what I get them.
So here's
I love those envelopes.
Here's how the baggies look when you get them. They have like a little label up here, but yeah, you get like 150. I mean, it's gonna go a long way, and then with the felt and everything. So yeah, so I'll put like the flyers and the sample and everything on the envelope, and it's only one stamp. So that's the best way to do it. I will also make wax samples. I just have some in this baggie, but I'm not going to give somebody this full baggie of it. But this is an example of like the little candy mold, which looks like this one. You can get this at like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or anywhere that has like baking or candy mold like kind of things. They're usually like $1, $2, something like that. So it's really inexpensive. And this one gets you quite a few, and since it's a small sample, it's really going to go a long way too with your wax. I forgot to mention, like on the felt samples, I'll use wax paper and I will lay it out, and when I soak my wax or whatever, I'll take the little samples out and lay it out on there, and it'll dry really quickly. And the melter that I use, you can use like your warmer or whatever, but I like to get things done really quickly. So my favorite thing to use is the like the Wilton Chocolate Pro. But you can, there's different ones and everything.
Because you can fit like 4 bars of wax in there.
Yeah,
so if you're making excessive amounts. Yeah.
This is super huge, and I can bust out samples really fast. And it has, 3 settings if you include the off, but it has warm and melt, and you just switch it all the way to melt, and it melts up pretty quickly. So, and then the nice thing about it is if you're pouring into the sample molds, it has the little drip thing.
The spout.
So if I'm using the felt samples, I have tweezers that I use, and I just pull them out and I lay them out on the wax, and I mean, it just like, I'll post a link of, my daughter actually knows how to make the samples, so I'll post a link of a video of her doing it, because she's actually really good. So if my 3-year-old can do it and she can do it quickly and efficiently, you can too, and that's the idea. So yeah, baggies, the Wilton Chocolate Pro, labels. If you don't have the scent of the month and you're not doing the stickers, you can just get like address labels or something like that, and you can type up on there like what it is, and like you can also put your info label or whatever on there if you're passing it out, or you can also carry around like your, sorry, I'm like, you can also give them like a sample in your business card or whatever as well. And then if you want to make like washer whiff samples and stuff, you can use the same little baggies, just pour a little bit in there. You don't need a whole lot. So same idea on that. Some other ideas, if you want to give samples of the oils. We do have like the droppers and all those things like that you can do, but if you just want to do like a cost-efficient like mailing kind of thing, you can drip a little bit on the felt or the paper strips, and you can put those in a baggie. Even the fragrance rollers, like you can put that on paper strips or dab on the felt and put it in a little baggie and mail it, and they're going to be able to smell it, and that's a good way to get that out there too. And then, after you make samples or whatever, like you just want to make sure that you have something that you're carrying around all the time, so that when you meet those new people, you can give them a sample in your business card. So one of my friends actually, Mary Blender, who's on our team, gave me this little Ipsy bag. They're really small and they're really compact and convenient, and so I throw all my samples in here and my business cards, and I'll throw that in my purse or bag or whatever, and I always have it. And so if it's another idea too, if it's like in the summertime, I will just only carry the felt samples just so they don't melt and get all gross. But
get all funky and squished together.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a really good idea just to get something small like this and make it your sample bag and just carry that around and everything, so that you have you always have something on hand. So always have something, whether you have a business card, a flyer, a sample, something on hand. And because especially if you're walking around with a Scentsy shirt on, or you're driving a car with the Scentsy logo on the back, people are going to ask you. I had a lady walk up to me in an open parking garage. I opened my trunk of my Beetle, and she smelled my car bar that's been in there for 3 weeks, and it was the coconut cotton. She smelled the car bar. I thought she was smelling like my samples in my bag or whatever, but no, she goes, no, it's coconut. I smell it. And I'm like, are you serious? You smell So like if they smell it, if they see it, whatever, they're going to ask you first, so be ready. So
that's awesome.
That's pretty much it, I guess.
Thanks, Stephanie. So basically, how to meet new people. If you guys have been with us for a while, you might have seen a training we did a couple months ago, basically on stranger danger and how to actually strike up conversations with people you don't know. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go on my channel. Go back. No, that was yeah. It's on my YouTube channel, which is where this is right here. So, go look at some of our previous Thursdays. That's going to tell you a little bit more about how to talk to people that you don't know. Because yeah, we can meet them, but then if you're just going to stand there looking at them like they have, weird adhesions all over their face, you're not going to get a lot going on. Exactly. So, make sure that you guys go watch that. It's going to give you some tips for talking to strangers, for the people like us who are terrified to talk to strangers, because I think all of us are really scared to talk to strangers. I know I hate it. It terrifies me.
I have extreme anxiety.
I have really bad social anxiety. I know Stephanie does. A lot of girls on our team do. So it's basically the painless way to talk to strangers. So get psyched. But that was a couple months ago. If I could remember the month, I would tell you. So I'm going to talk really fast about how to book parties off of these people that you just met and your friends when you have no parties on the books. And then I'm going to show you my basket parties. Because you want to be doing home parties, but as we go into kind of this weird period, basket parties are going to be your BFFs. I know for me, about to have a baby, basket parties are going to be my little employees out there working for me while I'm home being a mom and doing everything that Scentsy has afforded me to do. So my focus right now is basket parties, so I wanted to share with you how I do mine because that's one of the biggest questions I ever get. First of all, how do we book parties, right? You're going to want to just ask. I know that terrifies you, but if you don't ask, no one's going to know you need them. And I don't mean asking by posting a status on Facebook saying, hey, who wants one of my basket parties? I mean, find ways to bring it up because you know people love Scentsy. You know someone's going to see a warmer they can't afford. And just be like, oh, the Chasing Fireflies warmer, freaking amazing. You know what you should do? Have a party, get it for free, and you don't even have to have a home party. I have these awesome basket parties, or I can do Facebook parties. You don't even have to do any of the work. I can help you out. And I'm not even joking. A lot of times you're just going to get yes because you offered it as something that they would benefit from. When you post on Facebook going, guys, I need parties, like they're going to be like, why do I want to help you? And not because they don't love you, but most people are going to keep scrolling, okay, when you make it about you. So you want to make sure that you're always looking for opportunities to bless somebody with a party, or like Cheryl's going to talk about here in a little bit, blessing them with the Scentsy opportunity. If it's not about you, it makes it a lot easier for them to say yes because they realize that our business is really for them. It's, you know, getting them product for free. It's giving them new opportunities in life. So booking parties is not hard when you approach it the right way. You don't want to approach it like, oh my gosh, I need 8 parties for me because of my check, what it's going to do for me. You need to find people that you're like, you know what, this person could really use a party because I know she always wants Scentsy warmers. She's buying that crappy Walmart wax because she's too scared to come buy a $5 bar because she's that strapped for money. You need to get her partying. And even if you have to say, hey, dude, what are you doing 2 Fridays from now? Could you easily get some of your friends to come and hang out with you? And I will bring soda, snacks, and I will bring my Scentsy. And we will just hang out, literally sit on your couch, talk about life. I'm going to bring my smelly testers, and they're going to smell them. And then if they want anything, they can order, and then you're going to get free stuff. Does that sound like fun? Because that's easy. It's no pressure, super easy. And like, make sure that your parties are fun because people will book parties off of you if your parties are fun. So if you're doing home parties and you stand up in front of them for an hour and a half talking about Scentsy, no one's going to want to have another Scentsy party. Don't be afraid to just bring your stuff and say, who in this room has ever heard of Scentsy? And if all of them raise their hands, guess what? Presentation done. You don't even have to do it. You can pass out catalogs and be like, guys, we have a lot of new products, and then we're going to play a game. And like, this is not a tangent I wanted to get onto, but this is the easiest way to run a party. Play a game that encourages them to ask questions. I do the card game. If you guys need information on that, let me know. Basically, I reward them for asking questions. So they run the party for me, and it helps you not talk about things that they've already heard 1,000 times and helps them find new products and ask the right kinds of questions. So you're going to get more parties booked when they realize that you are just totally hanging out with them. I sit on the floor half the time. Like, literally just relax, be yourself, have fun, be the kind of person that they just want you to come over to their house anyway, and that's why they book a party. For a while, I had a lady who booked parties every 3 months, and she never invited anybody to her parties. I think she just wanted me to come hang out with her. Like, I don't know what's going on. So, but, like, you just really want to build those relationships with people and just make it fun because people are going to want to book off of you because it was the easiest party they ever went to. They didn't feel like you were salesy or pressury. You were just coming to hang out, and you also had this cool stuff that you brought with you. And then so don't be so afraid of asking people to book parties because what you're doing when you go to someone and you're like, hey, do you want to have a party for me? They're like, there's hesitation. She thinks her parties suck, and she thinks that she's inconveniencing me with a party. Like, your attitude is going to be what determines their answer. So if you go into asking them to book a party and you sound like you really don't want them to say yes because you're terrified, guess what they're going to say? They're going to say no. Just start finding ways to make it about them. So like I said, somebody has a huge wish list to be like, dude, you could just get all this for free. Like, let's just have a party. Like, it'll be easy. I don't even do a presentation. Just get your friends, your mom. You don't, like, and don't make people think that they even have to have 15 people there. Be like, dude, find 4 of your besties and invite them over Friday. I'm bringing my stuff. We're going to have a party. You're going to get free stuff. Keep it simple. Don't act like they're donating blood or something ridiculous. Keep it simple, keep it fun, because if you freak out about it and you make it this huge deal, they're going to get overwhelmed by that and they're not going to want to do it. So make it awesome, because we know Scentsy parties are fun, but if we pitch them like they're boring and just like every other party in the world, then no one's going to want to do it. Pitch it like it is. Don't even pitch it, really, because that just makes people mad. So find reasons why a party would work really well for them. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a home party. I wanted to show you my basket parties because that's the easiest party to get anyone to say yes to, because they don't have to clean their house. They literally just be like, hey, yo, do you have an office? Like, do you know at least 5 of your coworkers? Can you take some catalogs and testers? And just be like, dudes, smell this, buy some. And they will. So you just want to make it as easy on your hostess as you can. They're not going to say no if it literally doesn't look like it's going to be a problem. And a lot of times, too, you can also say something like, you know, someone's like, okay, I really love that Chasing Fireflies warmer. Like I said, I can't afford it right now. Just be like, dude, here's a basket party. Hand it to them. They're not going to say no. But, like, take this around to, like, 4 of your friends and be like, hey, do you want some Scentsy? And then when they say yes, put the order in here, bring it back to me. You're going to get that warmer for free. They're not going to say no because they're just right there. Like, why would they say no? It seems easy. So you didn't even give them the option. For basket parties, too, you can do them 1,000 different ways. I do mine really simple because it works the best for my customers. This is the way they prefer my basket parties. Some of them have been with me for 4 years. They've seen all of the faces my basket parties have ever had. I have finally found the combination that makes all of them happy. I do have one full set of mini testers. There's a $25 set in your Scentsy family store. I have one of those, only one. And that one does not ever leave my house unless it's requested. So what I do for basket parties is I have these 31, everyone has these because it's the best way to do them ever. I have these 31 makeup bags. I tried to do a few things since I bought these, and this is just really what continues to work out the best. In one side, I have, this is actually slightly more than that. It's a transition tester set. Every 6 months, Scentsy sells us transition tester sets. What that means is this is everything that was not in the last catalog. Every single scent that wasn't in the last catalog. So it's new ones, it's returning ones, it's the ones that people, especially your returning customers, want to smell. They already know what blueberry cheesecake smells like. They don't care if it's in this. Especially with people knowing more about Scentsy now, that works to our advantage because it makes our job easier. We don't have to include all the testers and stuff because they know what most of them smell like, and a lot of them they can guess. Worst case, they don't know what all of them smell like, and I have that big tester set, and I'm like, okay, pick one day this week, get your friends to come to lunch, and I'll bring that tester set for the all 20 or all 90 or whatever, because they really don't need it. So most of the time this works out. Why this has so many in it is because this was the transition tester set when it started, and then the next season I keep what stayed, and then I add the next transition tester set to it, and then I keep what stayed, and then I add the next transition set to it. So every so there's like an additional 4 or 5 testers that stay every time. I usually put a room spray in it, but what I'm going to do, I think it was Michelle Fivecoat gave me this awesome idea and gave a lot of you this awesome idea. I'm going to pop the seam here where these 2 pins are, just between that one, because the room spray will fit in 2 of these with the seam popped. So it'll be really, really cool. And then what I'm doing right here, I just got my oil sample kit in, and I'm going to make 5 oil tester sets. So I'll have my testers here, and then I'll have my oil sample testers here with the little flippy chart there. And then I always have pens in here, and then I've got order forms in here, and then I do 2 catalogs and then any relevant flyers. Another thing I do, please be in here, and these are posted in our group. If they're not, I have a link for them. I put these in every basket party. It's party how-to, tells them about the tax rate, how to collect orders, how to find people who want to buy stuff, where to take the basket party to get the best success, and then telling them don't leave it in your car. So all kinds of information about hosting a basket party. On the back, I have an order form showing them exactly how to fill it out. Can you see that? It's kind of blurry. Oh, well, I have a thing. But it's all filled out for them, showing them exactly how to do it so that they don't have any questions. It's at least the way I prefer it to be done. I have information about the customer loyalty program on the back, which I might switch to the VIP program, but we still kind of have both, so I'm not really sure. I haven't decided what I'm going to switch that to. And then on the other side, I have party specials that I've made up. Every basket party for me gets the same special if they pass the party to somebody else. So I'm like, hey, you know what? If you don't bring this basket party back to me and you just say, hey, Christina, here's my orders, and I hand you new order forms, and you just pass this on to a friend, I am going to give you 3 Scentsy bars, and then loyalty pays. So I give them a nightlight warmer if 3 of their friends choose to sign up for an auto-ship product. That would be the VIP program or the customer loyalty program. If they get 3 friends to do that, I give them a free nightlight warmer. Those are both out of my personal pocket, but if those kinds of things are happening, it's worth it to me to spend that on them. So those are specials I run. You obviously don't have to print that page or print this page and use it, but this is one I really like to have in there. And it's only 1 page because I like to keep things simple. Like I said, you got to keep things simple. So small, tiny basket party, super simple. Small info packet, super simple. Samples, super simple. So we talked about how to meet new people, how to make samples, because you need to be prepared when you meet new people. You want to leave something with them, and it's even better if it smells, because we know that smells sell. And then we talked about how to book parties. That was not the most comprehensive booking parties training ever. There's a ton of them out there, and we have several that we've done. We can do a whole thing on booking parties probably, but I didn't want to take too much of you guys' time. But I wanted to give you the basics, because honestly, if you have too many questions about that, you're overthinking it. You need to just find ways to have really natural conversations with people, and don't be a salesperson. Because if you're trying to figure out how to do something, it's because you're trying to figure out how to sell it. When honestly, you don't have to sell anything. This stuff, if you can get people to smell stuff, it sells itself. So you really don't want to overthink it. You don't want to try to have to figure out how to be a salesperson when we don't want salespeople. We really want people who are just sharing how much they love the product. And then basket parties, super easy basket parties. So with that said, we're going to move on to Cheryl Jones, and she's going to talk about the third important thing, which is getting people to join your darn team, right? Because you can't promote past certified consultant unless you start adding people to your team, which is really daunting to some people. People freak out thinking about adding people to their team, but I hope you guys understand truly how amazing Scentsy is and why it's worth it to them to join your team. Not why it's beneficial to you, because it's beneficial to you, but who cares about you? We're talking about what you can do for other people with your business. So Cheryl's going to go with that.
So I feel like I'm really far away compared to you guys.
You get your face up
good?
here. Oh yeah, you're great.
Computer. So okay. So kind of like off of what Christina was saying, I feel like that's a huge thing, is just it's not about you. I think when you stop thinking about recruiting as it being about like you and what you need to do for your business, and you start thinking about it as, you know, what you're doing to help other people, it's going to make it all easier, because it's going to help you think about who you're going to talk to, what you're going to say to them. All of that, it's just going to come a lot more naturally, because you're going to be just sharing that opportunity with people. I think another big thing is that consistency is a big thing with recruiting. You can't just be like, all right, this month I'm going to talk to a few people, and then it doesn't work out, then you're like, okay, well, I'm done now. It's about planting seeds. You might talk to somebody, and it might not be good for them, you know, right now. There are people on my team now that I had mentioned something to them like when I first started, or like in the very beginning, and you know, it wasn't the right time for them, or something changes in their life, and then it pops up in their head. They're like, oh, well, you know, so-and-so talked to me about this opportunity, and maybe I should go back to her and talk to them and kind of see, you know, how that can help me. So it's really about planting seeds. Don't think like, you know, just keep consistently having those kind of conversations with people. So then you might kind of be thinking, like, who do I have those conversations with? Number one for me is parties. Like, people that are having parties for you obviously love Scentsy. They want Scentsy. And if they're having a good party, give them the party. Host flip. I think that's huge. Or sometimes I call them decider parties for people that, might have asked me about Scentsy, and if they want to do it, I'm like, have a party. The worst thing that happens is you get a bunch of free and half-price Scentsy. I mean, so there's no downside to that. They get free Scentsy, and then in the end, if they decide, they can host flip. So it's something I kind of mentioned at the beginning of my parties, is just to let them know, if this is an opportunity that, we get to the end and you think, man, this would be something I would love to do, let me know and we can work it out. So I always just kind of nonchalantly do that in the beginning, and then that can kind of start the conversation, maybe get some, wheels moving in their head, thinking like, well, maybe I could do this. And then, during the party, things are coming up and you can kind of put it into the conversation, or some people play games to kind of see who would be the, the best person at the party to be a new consultant, or who they thought would be good at it, something like that. But just, don't put a lot of pressure into it. Just kind of, work it into the conversation. At the end, you can always bring it up again to see if it's an opportunity. If it's not something they're interested in, that's fine, move on. And then, later down the road, they might think, well, we talked about it and I have some information. So, maybe that's something down the road that they're going to remember. So just keep that in mind. What?
I said, oh, they will. They'll always come back.
Yeah. Well, that's, there's people on my team that kind of, same thing. They had a party, kind of mentioned it, and then later down the road, all their friends wanted more Scentsy. So they're like, why not just sign up and be their consultant?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And that's exactly how you have to have those conversations. Be like, just do it. Like, don't make it sound huge. Just like, just do it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah. So, and then, the other thing I have done too is just I periodically reach out to people. Like, look on Facebook, you'll see people posting things like, oh, I'm really needing some money, or like just different things like that you can just keep in mind. And then, you can message them and be like, hey, I had this really amazing opportunity. Think about what it's done for you. And that's what you share with other people. When you're like, oh, well, I wouldn't know what to say to them. And I felt like that for a long time. And when I realized it was just, it's an amazing opportunity, and I have a list of all these things of why I love Scentsy and why I love doing what I'm doing. So why not just share that list with people and explain, I get paid to do all these amazing things and meet people and hang out, and, that's what you're sharing. You're sharing why do you love it, and why, kind of seeing their why. Like, when we always talk about finding your why and knowing your why, I think that's important, because you can then relate to other people as to why would they want to do Scentsy. Is it to meet new people? It's not always to make money. It's to meet new people, maybe have their own little hobby on the side. It can be to make extra cash. It can be to be able to stay home with their kids or whatever. So you just want to think about those reasons, and then constantly be thinking, as are looking on Facebook or talking to friends, for those red flags to kind of just pop up, and then nonchalantly be like, why don't you do Scentsy? That would be a great way for you to get some extra money. Or, put it into their life and make it about them. It's not about you. And, yes, it's going to help you grow your business and meet your goals, but it's not about you. It's about helping others be able to grow their business. And so when you start thinking about it that way, I think that makes it a lot easier. I was going to share, I do host packets. I don't know if everybody does these, but I suggest them. These are just the little folders at the in the family store. I mean, you can use whatever. I used to use folders from the dollar store because that's just was easier for me. So I always put like a catalog, and everybody puts different stuff. You can put your why, your story, because then that can help people relate to you as to why they might want to start their own business. I always put the top 10, and all of this is in your workstation. I don't do anything too elaborate. I put the Shooting Star Award paper in there, and then I also put the 2 flyers, so the join and the host flyers. I'll put that in there, and then of course my business card, but you know, I know we kind of mentioned talking a little bit about branding, but branding can help you meet new people, but it can also help you with the recruiting piece. I just had somebody went to go grab some donuts for the boys, and I had a Scentsy shirt on, and she was like, so, you know, how much is it to join Scentsy? And then just kind of started talking to me about stuff. I was kind of bad on the fact that I didn't have one of these, but I lived right down the street. So I went back home, grabbed it, put some samples with it, and I walked back up in there, and I gave her the packet and stuff. So it had a little bit more conversation with her about, you know, Scentsy and everything. So again,
those
I think
those packets are actually on sale today, so
yeah.
go buy some.
Yes. The pouch parties that I use, just a little side note, I use these bank bags. They're half off right now in the store too.
Yeah, I use those too for sometimes, especially when I need like around Christmas when I need like 10 of them going at once.
Yeah.
I have 5 of these 31 ones, and then I've got 5 supplementary bank bags for when I run out of those.
Yeah.
And the bank bag ones I use for hostesses before their home parties. I give them one of those so they can collect outside orders. So
nice.
Bank bags for pouch parties. Go get them.
Yeah, they're only $3. I got some more. But so yeah, you know, have some possibility packets on hand, and if you don't, go back home, get the ones I already had made up, and go back and give it to them. But it's best to be prepared. But I always have these at events too. Talking to people at events is a great way to meet new people, and again, to talk about the recruiting piece and starting your own business. It's a great way to meet like new people outside of your circle that you that might be interested in starting their own business. So that's kind of all I think I have.
I love it. We wrapped up right on time then. We were going to kind of talk about branding yourself, but I think they all kind of covered that. You know, that's just literally wearing t-shirts, having your car branded, having materials on you, having a bag that says Scentsy full of awesome Scentsy goodness. Don't be so afraid to like let yourself speak for yourself, because that's, I mean, everyone's always afraid of talking to strangers. Well, you know, when you're wearing clothes like this, you going up and talking to a stranger about Scentsy is gonna look real friggin' weird. So, but if you have a Scentsy sweatshirt on, a lot of times they're going to start that conversation with you. And it's so funny how often that conversation starts, what's Scentsy? And everyone's like, I don't know anybody who doesn't know what Scentsy is. I go, just go to Walmart. Just go to anywhere. You're going to find people that don't know what it is. So you're going to be prepared. Like Stephanie said, be prepared with your samples. You've got them in that bag. You're repping your Scentsy sweatshirt. And you've got your possibility packets with you, just like Cheryl does. But like we mentioned, yeah, bank bags are awesome for pouch parties if you don't want to spend, you know, like these are 25 from 31. But if you're like, I need to do this cheap, everything that's in this right here will fit in that bank bag. I promise. They look tiny. They look tiny, but they're little beasts. They fit all kinds of fun stuff. So use the bank bag. They're way cheap, especially if you're trying to get as many basket parties together as possible. I always recommend having like at least 5 basket parties on hand, and then forcing yourself to never actually have them on hand. The more basket parties you have on hand, the more you can be running at once. Some people only have 1 on hand, and I'm like,
these are my bags.
I'm like, that means you can only have 1 basket party going at a time. But if you have 5, guess what? That's 5 parties all at once, all the time, that you're going to get $300 to $400 in sales in. So make sure that you guys have lots. Oh, sorry. Make sure you guys have several on hand so that you're not, you know, you're not limited by only having 1. So always have, and then have tons of possibility packets on hand. Like we said, those folders are on sale right now during the Purple Thursday sale. Go get possibility packets. Go get some bank bags. Go buy some transition tester sets, and get basket parties made up. Get your samples made up. Get your possibility packets made up. So you have samples, basket parties, possibility packets, Scentsy gear. You are ready to actually work your business. And keep it so simple. Everybody gets so hung up on flyers, or how do I say this, or what do I put in this, or how much do I need to do this for? How do I start building stock? How do I do this? And I'm like, guys, literally, like, this is the basics right here. Make some samples. Get them in other people's hands aside from yours. Make up some basket parties. Get people to book parties. Tell your friends about how much you love Scentsy. Stop overcomplicating it, because it's going to give you burnout. It's going to make you not really find the joy in it anymore. And there's a lot of joy to be had in this. It's pretty much the coolest job on the planet. So let yourself enjoy it and find ways to keep it simple, because the point of having a direct sales business isn't to just give yourself a job that you hate, because we can do that any way we want. Make sure that you are working it as simply as possible so that it works into your life, blesses you, because when it's blessing you and it's making you excited because you don't have to do a whole lot to go get this all done, you're going to be a lot more willing to share that blessing with other people and recruit them, like Cheryl was talking about. So, do you guys have anything else to add?
Like, challenge yourself, like when you go out to meet so many new people a day, or you know, make 15, or it doesn't have to be 15, whatever, like 10 samples or whatever, and challenge yourself to not come home with them. Just, you know, like, just make little challenges, and then, you know, it's kind of like a game that you're playing with yourself, and you feel really cool that you accomplished it.
And when you actually set your mind to it and say you're going to do it, you're more likely to do it. But if you just have them in your pocket but didn't really, like, pump yourself up,
Right.
Who's going to do it, you know? So don't be afraid to, like, look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you, go give these samples to people and don't come back home until you do. Okay? And then there you go. More likely to do it.
Packets.
Same with possibility packets. She says,
Save money a month and be like, all right, I'm sending them out. So
you should be having, not even joking, like, I think that the recommended amount is like at least 5 conversations a day about sales and bookings, and then 5 a day about the Scentsy opportunity, to get those seeds planted, because not everyone's going to say yes. You're not going to have 5 yes conversations in each category every day. You might have 1 yes a month. But guess what? That yes was more than you had without asking. So
the other thing too is, like, the big huge thing, like, if you're posting on Facebook and stuff or whatever, like, pay attention to who's liking it.
Oh yeah.
They may not even be commenting. Like, check your likes all the time, because there might be people that you don't know that's, like, into it or whatever, or they're not really interested in your you think that they're not interested in your business or whatever, but they actually like it, and they're even just supporting you just by liking it, you know, because it's getting activity on your post and everything. But the other thing is too is you know, if you post your link and stuff, you may not have somebody buy from it, but check your contacts on a every couple of days or a weekly basis in your workstation. Check, like, you know, click on, I think, like, new contacts or whatever. People might have put in their information because they had everything in a cart and then they decided not to buy for whatever reason, but now you have a new contact. Send them a sample. You know, just, you know, always check that. You're secretly getting contacts that way and you don't know it, so just always check that. Like, people don't think to check that part.
I love it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, your likers. That was my biggest thing when I first started. And I didn't really realize, you know, at the time that it wasn't something people did, but anytime I posted something about Scentsy, literally if somebody liked it, I would message them and, like, thank them for liking the post, ask them if they had any questions, and it was just, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think I was, like, you know, spamming them or anything. They liked it, so they liked it. You know, it's just like most people, if they don't want to see your Scentsy posts, they're going to scroll on by. Nobody who is not interested is going to like it, because I mean, do you like all your friends' posts all the time? if it's something you're not interested in, no, you're not going to give it a pity like or a courtesy like. So especially when you're sharing things about your Scentsy journey and how excited you are about something, always click your likes and see who liked it, because it means that they are excited for you, they're invested in your journey in some way, and even if you don't message them right now, just like Stephanie said, just keep them in mind. Write them down and don't write them off, because they're interested. People don't like things if they're not. So that's how most of my first early recruits came. They were just likers. So.
Yeah, you got like little stalkers everywhere, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh wow, she earned a cruise, and oh wow, oh look, there's pictures of her on the cruise, and oh wow, why can't I have that? And
Exactly.
so, I mean, just keep like, you know, sharing all that. Share stuff when you go to events and stuff, like, you know, what you're doing, how much fun you're having, and stuff like that, and share daily. Share how you're using Scentsy in your home. So like, if you're using the counter cleaner, the washer whiffs, or whatever, like, you don't even have to mention Scentsy in it. Like, you could literally just be talking about doing laundry, but you're holding like washer whiffs or whatever. Like, you know, just be authentic and like just make sure that it's incorporating into your life and everything. I mean,
yeah, if you're not using it, your friends aren't going to buy it. End of story.
Sydney, for instance, like, loves like making the samples. She loves, you know, smelling the bars when they come and all that kind of stuff. Just sharing that, sharing your interaction with your family and your kids, and showing how important it is, not just as your business, but it's a part of your family. So.
Yep, and that's going to get people going, oh, I could do Scentsy. Like, her kid is labeling her bars. I didn't think I'd have time. I could do it. My kid will help.
My kid is making my samples.
Yeah. You have to make it easy, because, number one, it is easy. And I don't mean it's easy like it doesn't take work, but it's so easy to blend it in with your life really seamlessly. Like, people will be like, I'm so busy. Go watch my Scentsy story. Let's talk about busy, and getting it seamlessly incorporated into your life. If you're living your Scentsy business, you don't actually ever have to actually work your Scentsy business. If you're living it every day and you're using the products and you're washing your laundry in this and you're cleaning your counters with this and you're just taking pictures like you would of your food in the morning of the things you're doing with your business, you don't have to take out all this separate time to run it or market it. You're sharing Scentsy in your life, and it's going to make people go, I could do that. Like, she's literally just cleaning the house today and working her business without actually doing it. So you're going to get a lot more interest when it's authentic like that. So, yay! Well, we should go and sign off. Let these people go to bed. So, thank you guys for coming to our first, like, joint broadcast. We're going to keep doing stuff like this, and any of our directors on our team are welcome to be like, hey, I want to help you guys out with this week's. If you don't want to help out, you don't have to. It's fine. I just really love letting all of our directors get their, like, training wings on and really get used to being in front of camera and helping you guys learn stuff, because they didn't get to director on accident, so I know they have awesome things to share. And I can share till I turn blue in the face, but it's so much more fun hearing it from other people who've been doing it as well. It makes it so much more like you guys are, because I feel like when I first started, everyone's like, oh, Christina can do it, but that doesn't mean I can. Well, look, we got ladies here that show you, yes, everybody can do this. You just have to choose to. So thank you, Stephanie and Cheryl, for, like, helping us kick off our first fun party style broadcast. I hope you guys all liked it. Let us know what you thought. Be as mean as you want. Be as awesome as you want. We don't care either way. And we'll see you next time. Except I think you guys are going to be on a cruise, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I might be doing it alone again, but that's okay. Because I'm going to be too knocked up to go boating with you guys. So we're going to still do first Thursdays in January. And I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. I was thinking about how to run, like, a waxless business. That'd be kind of fun. So, that sounds really vague, but we're going to do it. So, either way.
I'm like, what?
Like, it makes sense. It does. We'll do it. You guys are like, glad I'm not going to be there for that one. She is losing it. No, it's awesome, I promise. So, anyone else who's not boating and wants to hang out with me next time in January, first Thursdays, I'll see you guys there. So, bye!